All right. How you doing, Deanna?
Good. How are you?
Good. So, like I said, I'm recording this call. So, I just basically wanted you to kind of talk about your first deal, how you got it, just the ins and outs of your first deal and how it worked out for you.
Okay. So I found the seller on Facebook. He had posted his house for rent on Facebook Marketplace. So I just I sent him a message and asked him, you wouldn't consider renting. I think I said, like, saw your listing, you wouldn't consider renting for a long-term lease with the option to buy or something like that. And he replied back and just gave me, like, a few details about the house. And he also said that he was an agent as well. So he was the owner, but he also had his real estate license. And so that was on a Saturday. And so I told him that I was going to give him a call on Monday. So we had scheduled a call for Monday to discuss. And then so I called him on Monday, and he actually didn't answer, so I left a voicemail. And then he didn't get back to me until that following Thursday. And he said that, like, he didn't see my call. He had missed my call, and he had just got the notification that I left a voicemail. And so we talked on that Thursday for about maybe like 10, 15 minutes. And I just explained that I was an investor and I was looking to do a lease option, and kind of just went through the whole process with him. And luckily, like, since he had his real estate license, he was kind of familiar with what a lease option was, but he did still have, like, some questions. So we went through those really quickly, and then I read through the lease option memo with him on the phone. And then shot him over an email because he had agreed that he was interested in doing a lease option. They wanted to just kind of get the property occupied as quickly as possible because they weren't living in the house. So they were currently paying 2 mortgages. So they wanted to go ahead and get the house occupied. So I sent him over the memo through DocuSign, and he signed it, sent it back over within like 5-10 minutes, and so yeah, that's how I got it under contract. And then so I went and, like, put out some Craigslist ads. I think I created like 2 or 3. Actually, no, I think I created like 4 different Craigslist accounts and posted the house. And then I also posted it on Facebook Marketplace, rent to own, and that afternoon, I got someone who had replied, sent me a text through the Google Voice number that I had set up, and said that he was interested in doing the rent to own on it. And so I just got some details from him and sent him an application. So I had set up a rental application listing on Cozy. And that just enabled me to, like, list the property for free, just so that I had a platform for him to fill out an application. And so I set that up really fast and sent him the link to it so that he could apply for it, fill out do the credit check and the background check. And so I got that information back that night. And so I sent him a message after I reviewed it to tell him that I was going to give him a call the next day just to discuss. Because I wanted to get context, because obviously, like, the credit score wasn't too good, so I just wanted to get context about it. And so called him the next day and just had him explain, like, the situation and kind of what he's doing currently to work on his credit, which he was already in a credit repair program. And so, yeah, it sounded good. So I had him go the property already had a lockbox on it, so he went and viewed the property just to kind of put his eyes on it and see if it was something that he liked. I, in the meantime, called the owner just to fill him in on the fact that I found the applicant and explained that, like, I think he's a really good choice, and just ran over kind of his information with him, and we kind of set up the details of like how, because the owner wanted to get rent up front, like 12 months rent up front, to make him comfortable with the low credit score, which the applicant was completely fine with. And so, yeah, once we got both parties on board, the applicant liked the property after he went to go view it. So the owner was like, okay, well, cool. We can all meet up and get the final documents signed. And so that afternoon, we all met up at the property, signed the final lease option documents, and then did the I assigned over my contract to the applicant, and he handed me a check, and yeah, that was it.
That's wow. So let me back up for a second. I'm gonna go over the timeline with everyone. So so basically, you had contacted them. Was it last Saturday?
Yes,
not this Saturday, because today is Monday, but the Saturday before this Saturday. Is that correct?
Yeah, that Saturday initially.
And then Monday. So y'all talked on. So you saw his ad on Saturday, and then replied to it on the marketplace on Facebook. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then that Monday, you had called and left a message. Is that correct?
Yeah, I called, left a voicemail because he didn't pick up.
And then last Thursday, which was, 4 or 5 days ago, that's when he said he's interested, and he signed the paperwork. And then you had met with him. Okay. So you signed the paperwork. Then you identified the tenant buyer. What day did you identify the tenant buyer? Was that Thursday as well?
Yeah, that was that same day. He had responded to the ad, and I had him fill out the application that night and do the background check. Yeah.
And then Friday, is that when he went and walked through the house?
Yeah.
All right, so that Friday, the tenant buyer walked through the house, and then later on, because I remember you had texted me, you had a couple of questions. We went through some things. You met with the tenant buyer and the owner that Friday, the next day, and you walked away with a check.
Yeah.
And it was a big check.
So it was a big check, yeah. It was $10,000. Yeah. So
hold on. You said 10,000, like, so that's 5. Hold on. So you're telling me in less than a week, because it started on Saturday, and you got paid that Friday. That's 6 days. In 6 days, you're telling me you got 5 figures.
Yeah.
And how many deals? Like, so tell me, how many years have you been doing this? Because it sounds like you were a seasoned investor. How many deals have you done next?
Oh, that was my first deal.
All right. So hold on. This is your first deal. First one. You had never made any money. You had been studying it. You've been through a couple people's courses. I know. When did we sign? You signed up for the coaching that we did. When was it? It was that Friday, wasn't it? Or Thursday or Friday? It was one of those days.
Yeah. I don't remember.
It was either that Thursday or Friday. Yeah, it was either that Thursday or Friday. You found the guy on Saturday.
Yeah.
And you got paid last Friday. It was Friday, right?
Yeah, it was Friday.
And I personally have never done anything this fast in my life, and I've been doing it since 2003. And I've never had anyone do anything this fast in their life. But it just goes to show that, stuff like this can happen, Now, this won't happen all the time. We already know this.
Yeah.
But, let me ask you this. Just kind of looking back on this week or whatever, what would you say have been the biggest lessons that you've learned from this?
The biggest lesson, I would say, like what we talked about, was just kind of just doing the steps. I've been telling myself, okay, I just need to do steps 1 and 2 before I know steps 7 and 8, because I had experience in the past where I would need to just I felt that I needed to know everything before I even took the first step, and so going into this month, I had kind of made it my mission to just, like, jump into it and just do it instead of, like, trying to know everything. And so I think, honestly, that was, I would say, like, my biggest learning from this whole transaction, this whole deal, is the fact that, like, I really was just, like, taking one step at a time. And, like, once I accomplished that one step, like, I went and figured out what the next step was. Like, when I got the contract signed with the owner, I was like, okay, well, I guess I need to go make Craigslist accounts, because I didn't have all those Craigslist accounts already set up. Like, I didn't have a contract yet. So I was okay, well, let me go make these Craigslist accounts and post them. Let me go post this on Facebook Marketplace. Let me join, like, the local buy and sell groups and post it in there as well. And then, like, I didn't know what I was going to do next once I got somebody who was interested. Also, I didn't think I was going to get someone interested that fast either, so I thought I was going to have time to figure it out. But, like, even still, so once the guy responded and he was like, yeah, I'm interested, we, like, went back and forth with a few details. I was like, well, shoot, I need to figure out how I can get him to apply. I didn't have, like, a rental application for him. I didn't have a way for him to do the credit and background check. But I just went out and set up an account with that free service and sent him the link. So, yeah, it was really just like a matter of just taking the step that I knew to take. And then once, like, I had succeeded at that step, then figuring out how to do the next step. Like, and then with the final contract, I didn't even know what contract to use. And so that's why I was, like, messaging you, and we got on the phone to figure out, like, what contracts I should be using and, like, what I should put in the contracts. But I had no idea, and I didn't know that the owner was going to want to meet that day to get it all wrapped up, because I thought I was going to have maybe, like, a day to, like, get all that together. But he called and was like, hey, let's go ahead and do this tonight and get it over with. So I was like, okay, sure. So I had to go figure out what contracts to use and all that. So, yeah, the biggest, like, to sum all that up, the biggest learning would be that just taking steps 1 and 2 before learning steps 7 and 8 and just getting out there, because, like, you waste a lot of time trying to figure out every single thing, and you never are going to figure out every single thing because everything is going to be different just depending on the situation. So, yeah.
Right, and let me ask you this. So let's look at what your risk was, okay? So did you have to submit your credit to anyone? Like, did anyone pull your credit or worry about your credit?
No.
Okay. And then we kind of talked about this. Now, you did – so how much money did you have to put down out of your pocket?
Nothing. I didn't even have to pay for him to, like, do the credit check or anything. Like, that service was free. So, nothing.
So, all right. So, let me make sure I understand this. So, you didn't have to put no money down. You didn't have your credit ran. So, really, the worst thing that could have happened was the guy at the last minute said he's not interested. Is that right?
Right. Yeah.
So, let's really think about this. By going through this process, the worst thing that can happen is they say no, and you may have spent some money on gas going there, right?
Right. Yeah.
But the best thing that can happen is you make $10,000.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at the average income, I think the average income is like $40-some thousand in the United States. I may be wrong. So you made what most people in America, what it's going to take them 3 months to make, and you made that in less than a week.
Yeah.
So how much time would you say, how many hours would you say you put into this deal, like total?
I would say maybe like 4 to 5 hours, like maybe total, from like the initial message. Because really the biggest time spend was just signing the final documents. And that was just because we were all kind of just like chatting it up. Like I was, I ended up like walking away with 2 good contacts because like we all just kind of connected and it was all a good vibe. So that was really the longest part of the process. But as far as like just the conversations that we had. And then also there was a lot of correspondence through text as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there really wasn't a lot of time spent on the phone. It didn't take very much time to post the ad on Facebook or Craigslist. So I would say maybe like 4 to 5 hours total, including travel time to and from the property. Yeah.
So let's just do the math on this. It took you 5 hours to make $10,000, so you made $2,000 an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so let me ask you this. Did you have to go out and get a website, an LLC, go out and meet with an accountant, get a trust set up, get an estate plan set up? Did you do all of that before you made any money?
No. No. And it's funny because, like, this month, like I said, like I had told myself, look, Deanna, you're going to stop wasting time this month. You're going to jump into it, you know, figure it out. But, like, last month, that's kind of where I was that person last month where I was like, I need to do a website. I need to set up Facebook ads. I need to register my LLC. I need to get business cards. Like, I was that person.
Right.
And so, yeah. So this month, it really was like me changing my mindset and like me shaking myself out of that mode and like getting over myself. That really made the difference.
Right. And the biggest thing is just take action that's going to move you forward to a deal. Because if we really look at what you may have spent money on, you have your cell phone bill, which you probably call from your cell phone. You probably have your internet bill, which you got, you know, to get on Facebook and everything. And then some paper from Walmart, Sam's, or wherever you got paper from. No, you did DocuSign. I don't even know if you printed anything out.
I did print the final contracts out.
Okay.
I did print those.
So paper, you need a printer, and you need some ink in that printer. Is that the only thing? And then you need the gas in your car. Is there anything else? And maybe an ink pen for the transaction for them to sign. Is there anything else that you needed? Because these are items almost everyone has already.
Yeah, like I didn't have to go. Like I was going to pay a cell phone bill regardless. I was going to pay internet regardless. Had paper already. So, yeah, no, I didn't have to go to like extra lengths to get any of this done.